of thousands to see the boys become champions. Oh, 67, and the heat of Westman, the first game in the thousands to see the boys become champions. Cheers. Cheers. This next song's about the daily record and the sun. Shite. Sorry, Snow, it's a song called Maggie Thatcher. Boo! Ice cream and jelly.
Good evening and welcome to HomeBhoys number 80. I'm Jason and that was you listening to a bit of the Quadrophenians there. We just put that song on at the start of HomeBhoys tonight. It's a bit different, obviously I'm not your normal host, but myself and Paul Larkin went and seen the band a couple of weeks ago in the Cross Keys in Wishaw, and Paul's got them to do his new Bump Up book launch in the Celtic Supporters Association. We can talk about it a bit more later, but for the young, hip and trendy Celtic fan out there, I reckon that's the band for you all. So hope you enjoyed listening to that. So welcome to HomeBhoys, number 80. We've not been on the airs for a couple of weeks. Various things, guys couldn't get together. People know well I've been choked up with the flu for a week. So I'm your host tonight. We're joined over in Ireland in the banks of the Boyne by Mr. David Harper. You there, mate?
I'm here, man. I'm hanging by a thread from here.
You're all and above board, and you're here for the call of duty, mate. So thank you very much for making an appearance. In Glasgow, we're joined by Vincent the Parrot, aka Stephen Monaghan. You there, mate?
How you doing, guys? Hail, hail.
Hail, hail, mate. And up in Ulrike, Mr. Green and White writer, Paul Larkin. You there, mate?
Good evening, gentlemen.
How you doing? Good to have you here. Well, we've not got Joe McKenna tonight. Joe's internet is guffed, but it'll be back next week. So thank God I'll be able to hand the controls over to Joe. So What's been happening?
He was going to come through here, but he doesn't want to catch my ailments.
Yep, and the mouth to mouth would have been a bit dodgy tonight, Harper.
Huh?
Mouth to mouth, no, you know, making the guy welcome, we kiss at the door and stuff like that. That wouldn't be. He does that with his dinner guests and stuff like that. He loves
all that.
Aye, the cravat and things like that.
He does. He loves all that. Like, he loves all that. He likes to touch you.
So our last game we were on, we spoke about the Hearts game. That was back 19th of January. So since then, we've had 4 games, beaten Dundee United 4-0, then debacle at Hampden, St Mirren, cuffed Kilmarnock 4-1, and then we beat Wraith Rovers 3-0 yesterday. So who wants to kick off? We don't want to... All other podcasts have done the 3 previous ones to death, but who wants to start with yesterday? Vincent the Parrot, Stephen, you were up there, mate. You've got a couple of wee stories for the sunny town of Wraith, aka Kirkcaldy. Do you want to hit us with it, mate?
No, well, if Paul would like to talk, I know Paul was there. If Paul's want to talk about the game and then I'll fly in after, I'm rubbish for that tactics talk, you know. I'll give a bit of banter after it, sort of thing.
Listen, I've picked you, mate. On you go. What was your views yesterday?
Obviously, there was a lot of... We were both set off. We set off the journey, and there was a lot of... Maybe about an hour and a half before kick-off, there was a lot of Twitter action saying that buses were actually... I know the Govan Emerald bus was stopped before it had even left. There was 8 police officers jumped on board. I seen a picture on Twitter today, the Easter House boys were popped as well, and then 2 of the girls who usually travel on the Suns bus, the Sons of Donegal bus, Vicky and wee Emma, they organised their own bus yesterday for the George Square, and they reckon that they got to Cumbernauld and the police pulled them in and they were taking pictures of them all, and then the girls started taking pictures of the police officers, which didn't go down too well. But no, it was good. We got up there, we went a different route sort of thing. We got up there no problem. We got into some cafe jazz bar in Kirkcaldy that was quite swish.
Cafe jazz bar in Kirkcaldy, you sure?
all the people that can't afford to live in Edinburgh but work in Edinburgh were all out for their Sunday dinner wearing their cash and carry clobber, so we sort of 70 of us piled into the boozer, so that went down well. When I was talking to 4 Wraith Rovers lads and older guys, and we were talking about them being down at Celtic Park earlier in the season, and it was just to say, well, I was up there personally to say we're always well going up to see Celtic. It was a wee thank you for them as a club, because it's well publicised what they did, and they stuck their head above the parapet, and there was an interview with the chairman, Turnbull Hutton, yesterday, and the Scotsman. I never realised.
Stephen, sorry, can I just come in? Jason, everybody's saying in the chat room that the volume's low apart from you, so you maybe want to just turn up the mic.
Right, that's it up, mate, sorry. That was Linda put that in, because she's banished to the bedroom, so she's not too happy with the racket in this house, but that's it up. Right, no worries. Hopefully that's better. On you go, Stephen. Sorry, mate.
I know, just obviously thought about Turnbull Hutton. I never realised he was actually Harvard educated. And we were talking about how it was good to get up there for the game and all that. But no, it was good getting there. I mean, I never did anything. The local police force were quite friendly, smiling away, didn't really searches or anything. I know a few of the boys from Drumchapel got their cherry out stole after them up there by the forces. But no, it was my first time back there since Wayne Biggins was playing up front for Celtic.
I know, so what about the game, mate?
I mean the pitch itself, I thought it looked like a World War One battlefield. You know, that really cold mountain. You know, when the American Civil War, when the explosives go off in the middle with a mist. But I mean, it was a Scottish Cup game. You know, obviously we've had the fantastic games before, but Celtic is a team. You know, I mean, I'm not going to slag any players off. I think everybody's seen the game for what it was. It was great to see wee James Forrest coming on and stuff, and yeah, it was okay. It was just a normal Scottish Cup game.
Yeah.
Good result.
Good stuff. What about yourself, Paul? Were you up there yesterday, mate?
Aye. Just carrying on from Steve says. I mean, the pitch wasn't that great, but you know, we've got players on the park that just rise above that. I mean, I thought we completely controlled the game for 90 minutes. Kelvin Wilson probably had his easiest shift ever in a football match. There was definitely a bit more appetite about the players. And once we got the goal, we never really looked back. You know, it's just unfortunate that, you know, the media started a hate campaign over Chris Collins for getting kicked in the boots.
Aye.
But, you know, we kind of expect that, and probably could have had about 19 other penalties that we never mentioned. But yeah, it was a nice wee sort of day out. I mean, it was bitterly cold, obviously, and also the fact that a cup tie. I think in Scotland we kind of get we're a bit too sort of expectant about cup ties. You saw all over England again this season, the FA Cup, big teams getting knocked out and stuff like that, because they just underestimate the opposition. And so I think that going to something like Claudia against a half-decent team, winning 3-0, end of the day, cup football's all about getting into the next round, and that's what we did.
Yep, no, I totally agree, and agree exactly with Chris Commons. I mean, he should have had a penalty for the same donkey 10 minutes before it, and the referee doesn't give it, and it's an absolute stone wall. The referee's 5 yards away. He's got no other thing he can give apart for a penalty. So I don't know what any of this was about. I take it this was some of the gutter press with headlines today or whatever, calling Commons a cheat or something.
Both the red balls went with Chris Conman, which was complete. I mean, although Mensah's comment was, I thought he went down too easily, which of course anybody with eyes will tell you that's nonsense. But to that, the tabloids coincidentally both go to Chris being a con man, so maybe they were aware of the fact that some bad news coming from elsewhere. I don't know.
Aye, potentially. What about yourself, Harper? You watched the game, mate. What was your views?
I suppose just quick on the Chris Commons thing. You're 100% correct. He should have a penalty before that for almost the exact same incident. No, I mean, it was a carbon copy. Did he go down easy? Maybe he did go down easy, but he still got tripped.
He get touched.
That's the name of the game. It's a penalty kick.
Did you feel sorry for Jimmy Nicholl after the game? Because I thought he was going to cry live on air.
I've got a wee confession to make. I don't actually mind Jimmy Nicholl.
Oh, neither do I. I think he's alright.
I've got a wee story for you then, in fact. Jimmy Nicholl, when he was the Raith Rovers manager, lived in Dollar, which is only 2 miles from Tullochgoody. And I got one of my mates' girlfriend used to babysit for me.
Right.
And I was in his house, and the main thing he's got in his house, all the different things he's had his career, and the main thing he had in his mantelpiece, a picture of him and Tommy Burns. When it was Tommy Burns, Celtic manager, and Jimmy Nicholl was Raith Rovers manager. So there's a wee thing. You would think maybe it could have been something for Rangers there, but there's a picture of him and Tommy Burns. I'm going back a lot of years here, like.
Aye.
And we used to hang about the streets at night and that, and he actually stopped in his car one night and offered to pay for a minibus to take us hoodlums through to Raith every home game to get us off the streets. Says he'd put the minibus on.
Aye, fair.
Don't be bought, like.
No, fair.
I was going to the Celtic games at that time anyway, like this was Saturday night to pull us up, but fair dues to him, like, do you know what I mean? So you see other sides of these guys, like, you know what I mean? So Jimmy Nicholl, I didn't mind Jimmy Nicholl. But no, back to the game. No, it was definitely a penalty kick. We should have had 2 penalties. The handballs, maybe not so much. I wasn't screaming for penalties there, and I would have felt they would have been harsh at the other end. But I did have a feeling that the referee would have gave him at the other end, if you know what I mean.
Potentially.
Fair dues to Raith Rovers, man. I was happy for Turnbull Hutton to get the bit of cash with the tie. I didn't see too much wrong with them having the pitch and the condition they had it in. That was a deliberate ploy to sort of it's a bit of a leveler. Do you know what I mean? Which is fair enough. Although if one of the players had picked up a bad injury, I'd probably be saying something different. But let's be honest, that's what happens at that level. They're going to try and take every advantage they can. So you can't really blame them too much. So if the referee says it's playable, it's playable.
Aye,
it
definitely looked a bit like Goose Green, to be honest with you, but what do you do? You know, aye, fair enough. I suppose if we had that, or if we were playing a team like Bayern Munich or something like that, and we had an option to make the park like a ploughed field or whatever, you would take it with both hands, you know. And like if you're playing like, because the gulf between us and them is very similar to the gulf between like Barcelona and ourselves and things like that, you know. So you need everything in your favour that you can use, and fair play to them. But I thought it was a very professional job with Celtic, and very happy to get in the next round. One point I'd like to bring you back to was the penalty and the way Chris Commons dispatched it. I mean, that's the way we should be dispatching our penalties. And it is going back to the St Mirren game, you know, missing the penalty, Charlie Mulgrew. But is it a skill that Chris Commons has that other players in the team don't, or should just be bread and butter? Because obviously with this Juventus game coming up, we tucked away the penalty against Spartak, which was vital. and if we didn't score that, we probably weren't going through. But if we get the opportunity against Juventus, and say Chris Commons isn't in the park, are we confident then to putting that ball away?
Well, can I just say something first, right? First of all, they should be practising penalty kicks, because it is a skill.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you should be practising everything when you're a footballer, right? And secondly, how can any professional footballer know how to target with power that size?
Yep.
So I mean, you shouldn't have to be side-footing it and trying. You should be able to hit a target. You should be able to put it in the top corner with power every time. They're professional football players. That's what they do for a living. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's a dead ball sitting still. It's no moving ball or anything like that. They should be able to pick a target in the goal and hit it 99 times out of 100 at that level. For God's sake, man.
And I would agree with yourself, Paul. What do you think of this?
I mean, I think it's, you know, the ability should always be when they don't score a penalty kick. I think always going to be with the temperament and confidence for people at the time. But as it was said by boys in this part, I was supposed to at night, it was the perfect penalty. It actually hits the side of the net, which means a goalie can't save it. And I was actually saying before the game that I always thought Chris Commons shouldn't have actually admitted that he thought Barcelona were winning when he dispatched that penalty against Spartak, because if he'd tell everybody that he thought they were still drawn, he would have looked like the coolest football player on the planet the way he started to dispatch that penalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's this seems to be a bit of a psychological thing, but Chris has scored out and this scored for Celtic, so you know he should be the guy who's taking them. Because I think, as you mentioned, it's a run game. I don't think anybody in the ground, apart from Neil Lennon, will tell them who scored that one the week before.
I know, man, and see that, just going back to that, man, I mean, you've got legacy Samaras now on the pitch. These are the guys that should be taking that penalty against St Mirren. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't a penalty kick anyway. I didn't think it was a penalty kick that day. So probably maybe justice was done, if you like, but I don't know where that came from, Charlie Mulgrew taking a penalty, especially when he was having a stinker.
His delivery of a dead ball second to none, but you're not floating a ball in when you're taking a penalty kick. But I just think, I agree with you, Harper, 100%. It is a total art, and we should have 5 guys in that team, and that takes away the possibility of anybody not being on the park at that time. We should have 5 guys spending, 20 minutes every day practising at the exact same spot, drilling the ball into the exact same spot over and over again, so that if they get that penalty, they're 100% comfortable the way they're hitting it. There's no any changing your mind in your run-up and stuff like that. And and then obviously if they score, then they change their spot and keep practising in their new spot. But until it's no rocket science.
Take a bag of balls, take a bag of 50 footballs and hit 50 footballs in the top right hand corner.
Aye.
There's no many teams in Glasgow that can afford 50 footballs. Maybe apart from us, I don't think that.
There's something else we're talking about.
So what about, right, while you're on party here, what about Pope Paul, what about the Sheriff away to Elfsborg? We'll discuss the transfer window, and before I go as well, I forgot to add at the start, if you want to call in, just as I say, add HomeBhoys onto Skype, call us in, and I've got the controls, so I'll try my best to add you to the call. If I don't add you to the call and I cut you off, I will call you straight back. I had a bit of trouble doing that the last time, so for whatever reason, if I cut you off, you can't get through, sit with your by your console and I'll call you and add you to the call. And I think Scott for the temporary stand was going to give us a wee call. He said to me on Twitter last night. So Scott, if you're listening, just fire in, mate, you know the drill.
Dude, I might actually want to speak to him, because on my private message board he said he wants to appear in the Hill Media advert in his budget smugglers.
Right, so, okay.
There you go, we'll have to get down to the nitty gritty about that, like.
Yep, that's the Hail Media. We're going to have an advert in the NAFC or whatever, Las Vegas conference or something. Yep. Need to spread the word. So, yep. So, how's Pope Paul taking the news that the Sheriff's away to Elfsborg?
Devastated, mate. He's not been back. Honestly, I didn't even see him at Hampden. I was sitting there the people who smelled a PP soup takers, the main stand. But reference the game yesterday in Bangura, I know there was ridiculous stuff about songs being sung about Paul Gascoigne, and I can tell you the only quotes I heard was when I walked into the ground, somebody, where I was sitting, Rose Ed to the right hand side, somebody started a song about a certain guy called Fagan, and I went, I'm in for a good afternoon here. So the banter was brilliant, but no, I gave Bangooda a wee shout out saying for the sheriff when it was still nothing each, but the only story, in case I forget, and I know he's going to go to the transfer window, if I can, I know there's been a lot of trouble in football recently, reference, I know, alleged battles, but you guys have been on the terraces as long as I have. Have you ever seen a domestic at a football game before?
Well, I did. Once was Everton Liverpool game at Anfield during the way end, and they were singing that song, the Fellaini song, and there was a guy standing with his wife in front of us, and the song goes, I love Fellaini, you're the love of my life, I love Fellaini, I'd let you, my wife, I love Fellaini, I want curly hair too, and the guy was singing it and his wife was there. So, Brendan, sorry, the other guys have cut off again. This is a nightmare. I'll need to cut you off, mate. Add them back and then add you at the call, okay? Sorry, guys, I cut you off there. Are you there? It's Brendan. I added that call, answered it, and it cut you off again. So I'll need to add Brendan to the call.
Do you know what it is, man? Right? You've got maybe 2 homeboys now, or something like that.
No, I've only got one, mate. You said that last time. I've only got one. I shut the first one down.
Right, because I don't know how you managed to put us on hold. I just thought we were just singing.
I know, brutal. I know. Right, let me try and add Brendan to the call. So, so the boy was on about he'd like about Marwan Fellaini, and then his wife took umbrage to it and started going tonto. But carry on, mate. What was the domestic?
Well, there was a boy, we get separate tickets, we took about 70 up there yesterday, and there was a wee boy, we'll call him Buffy, because I know there's lads listening in, and basically an ex-girlfriend, work colleague, was steaming drunk in the game and came up to him and started shouting like a banshee for 10 minutes, telling him, I know about the kids listening, so you can sort of idea the way ex-lovers sort of go on in life about how bad people are at things, and she held up a pinky finger and waved it at everybody. So, the poor guy come up to me at half time, he's like, I'm in bits, like that. I said, we've got spare seats, come up here, but fair play to him, he braved it and went back down. I mean, obviously, we're up kids in the scheme. I said to him, mate, I'd have said she was a drug dealer or something. So you couldn't get embarrassed in front of thousands of Celtic fans like that. So, so if you see it on Twitter, Buffy yes, the pretty name will come out, you'll know more about it. But that was it. That was only controversy at the game yesterday. I never heard any Gascoigne songs.
Can I just ask you, see how did he really come up and say Hall Parrot?
He did, mate. You did.
Are people actually calling you Parrot? I think that's good.
Honestly, I mean, I text Paul Larkin earlier on. All the lads are sitting on the bus yesterday with iPhones and Spreaker, and they've not got a clue that none of them's ever seen the Tom Deacon Euro fan. None of them know anything about it. So I spent an hour and a half yesterday drinking a Milo Buds and going through their phones and telling them how to work things. You know, it's unbelievable.
Brilliant. So Brendan, you there, mate?
Yes.
How you doing, mate? Sorry about the carry on. So I know what to do now. I just need to cut people off and then add them back. So how you doing, mate? You keep them okay?
Yeah, I'm keeping fine, thank you.
Yep.
Boys, you all right?
Yep. Good, mate. What you want to add? What you want to bring up, mate? Carry on.
Yeah, it was just obviously you mentioned the transfer window. I was surprised that we kept Hooper, but obviously happy we kept him.
Yep.
He's a happy chance against Juventus.
Yep.
I didn't think Wanyama would go this. He'd probably go in the summer. Probably both go in the summer actually now. But no, I mean I think we've got half a chance now. We've kept Hooper. The Juventus games.
Yeah, I would agree, mate. I was absolutely delighted, and I thought it was very funny. I'm no a mad Twitter supporter, but I thought it was great on Twitter that all the Celtic teammates, they were all at the wind up with Hooper. Good luck, mate, and all that. And I think the camaraderie between the teams excellent. And fair play to Celtic. I don't know what the fee was. I know they were banding about 8.5 million. I think that was a lot of rubbish, to be fair. But I think Norwich came in with at least 3 bids, maybe 4 bids, and Celtic stood firm. And I think we've got to take our hats off to the board, because it'd have been easy for them just to accept the money and say to themselves, right, we got them for 2 million, sold them for 6, 4 million in the kitty, and we're in the Champions League. But no, they've stood firm, and we've still got a lethal striker in the Champions League, I reckon. Maybe yourself, Harper?
I still maintain what I said the last time, and I think Brendan I was talking to last time, and I still maintain Celtic will get more money for Hooper in the summer. I think more teams are shorting in the summer. More teams are looking at hard pieces in the summer. Just to know what their budget is, where they are, and that. Norwich were the only team coming in for Hooper there, right? I envisage that to completely change in the summer, especially if he keeps banging the goals, especially if he has a good showing in 2 games against Juventus. I mean, he's really. I think Hooper's in a really rich vein of form at the minute, and I think Hooper will play his way to a big move in the summer. Certainly a bigger move than Norwich.
Yep. What about yourself, Paul?
I mean, I didn't. I agree with what you said there, Jason. The bid that I think it was 9.2 million that Sky quoted was just absolute rubbish. I don't think we'd be sitting here talking about the first day if it was true. But I mean, I'm happy to keep him on. I think he's head. I think everybody knows when I go in the summer, I think he wants to leave and stuff like that. But you know, it shows you how far we've come. You know, as a club that we can afford to come to put £5-6 million for our players, because we won't get more money for them in the summer. The money will be even more in the summer than it would be in January, as Harper says. And you know, it's a real statement of intent to the club. Because I tell you, I've heard people say, well, when you play against Juventus, right, we play fair enough, but you know, we might beat Juventus and we'd be devastated to have let them go then.
The best bit of the transfer window at Norwich was when they kept going to that bird and then the 2 boys were riding the other boy against the fence. So completely childish but hilarious.
I know. And it was pretty uneventful. I think the transfer window, what it said to me was that loads of teams are skint. You know, it's English football in the last 6-7 years, it's been going absolutely tonto in January, but compared to recent times, it was quite quiet. Maybe it wasn't quiet in the Odin Wingy house. What about that?
Jason, see, the thing is, I think it's been like that the last couple of years.
Aye.
I've had maybe 1 or 2 big transfers that went through, but there's, by and large, people only spend the money in January. And the thing is, Sky now have tried to turn transfer deadline day into some sort of big
razzmatazz thing. Aye, I know.
Special things with Jim White on the roof pointing at different bits of London. He's a prick, man. You know what I mean? I actually had it on a mute just because I wanted to see if anything would happen to Celtic, because of Gary Hooper, you did think there was a chance, eh? But they're actually trying to turn this into something that isn't it? And for the other razzmatazz, nothing happened. They kept going to all these people and none of them had anything to say.
I know. So about yourself.
Can I ask Paul a question, Jason?
Yeah, carry on, Brendan.
Yeah, what do you think about Johnny Russell? I've heard him a few times say he doesn't think he can make the step up to Celtic. I think he could. I think this lad's only going to get better.
I don't think he's ready yet, to be honest.
Not yet, Paul. But I think he's going to get better. If you remember what the Hooper was like when he first came, he was very raw at Celtic, better than the player he is now. I think Russell 2 or 3 years at Celtic, I think he'd be a good player for us.
Yeah, I mean, the way he plays it out, I mean, he's completely won through. He's got a left foot, not much else. He's not in the game alone, and the only fans who stand for that. Full stop, you know what I mean? It's a hell of a different scenario for people than me than it is for Celtic. You know, that's the reason John Daly's not Celtic. Because Celtic needs that. He's not involved enough. And I know John Daly were absolutely delighted to get up the only bids that they've heard for him, like these parts of Super 3, 450 grand. And so, what Jack is facing this week is playing the way you're playing the season, he'll give you a big. And his heart's set home for Celtic. But I mean, he's definitely got more talent, man. He's still young. And he could be, I think he would be better if he certainly went from Scott McDonald to bulking himself up a wee bit and then could add a hell of a lot in his game, and then I could see us making a serious move for him.
I quite agree with you, Brendan. I think he's a smashing player, you know, but as Paul says, it's a lot different playing for Dundee United in Scotland to play for Celtic, you know, and we've seen it with, you know, guys like Derek Reardon and things like that they're absolutely excellent where they cut, and to a certain extent guys like Scott Brown as well. It took Scott Brown a while to find his feet. I know he had personal problems and things like that as well, but I think Brown's now the player that we all thought we were signing. But at the start, you know, it's a massive psychological thing, and I think Johnny Russell as well, born and bred Celtic supporter by all accounts for Coatbridge, you know, maybe a lot of pressure under him as well through family, friends and things like that, but I reckon he's got all the tools. He could be a good one, and he knows where the net is, and I think he's a hardy bugger as well. So no, he's the type of player I'd like to see at Celtic, absolutely. But
I think obviously the money Celtic's taken in this season. I mean, you think what they paid for Bangura has been a total flop.
Yeah.
Hold you, listen, I'm not like that. I wanted to buy down to Norwich and the private jet at Glasgow Airport with a Gary Hooper ski mask on. Send them down there. Late in the transfer window, no time for a medical, sign them up.
On you go, Brendan, what were you saying? So Bangura then, what?
Absolutely, with the money that Celtic took in this season, obviously with the European run, etc., I think he's definitely worth it. But I think a couple of years at Celtic, I think he'll be a top player for us.
Yeah, and see the thing is as well, no matter what we think about Bangura, I think that's an occupational hazard with the market we're shortman at the minute. You know, if you're signing guys for 1 and 2 million, you're going to get some hopefully good ones, and you're going to get some that aren't so good. You know, and I think that's just an occupational hazard at the present, the way we are doing our dealings. But on the whole, guy like John Park or whoever it is that's recommending these players to Lennon, you know, we can't be. And I've got a big mate, it's Nigerian, and he's obviously delighted with Nigeria winning. It was a bit of, I don't know if I'd rather Ivory Coast beat them, because that's Ambrose going to be away for when does the semi-finals play?
I think the one's on Thursday,
so this is our last chance saloon to get him back for the UV game, isn't it?
yeah, it's like,
Or would they even play him in the UV game? Because if he's been away there, he's been training, do you think Celtic gave him a week off or that after it? Or would they want him straight back to play?
I'd put him straight back in.
Aye. Saying that, he would want to play himself. Well, you would think, you know, any professional football player going to play in the last 16 of the Champions League against Juventus at Parkhead. You're not going to take a wee couple of days holiday and miss that, are you? But,
I mean, Mel, you dropped there what you said.
What was that, mate? On you go.
2 coups in a field, what lands on holiday?
One with the week off.
See if I can just bring you back to the transfer window. What did you make of the move for Kevin Doyle, or the attempted move for Kevin Doyle?
Aye, the loan deal near the end.
2 goals he scored this season. I mean, I like Kevin Doyle, but what I've seen him playing for Ireland and that, like, obviously I don't watch a lot of Premiership, but I always I thought he had a good eye for goal, but it seems to not been happening for him. He's not got a game down there a lot this season. One of the boys in my work was saying, big Celtic fans, like, I hope we don't sign that Kevin Doyle, because obviously there was talk here for a few days beforehand, and he's just went way downhill in my estimations. This boy at my work, like. So I was a wee bit trepidatious about signing him. Like, you know what I mean, this is a guy that follows a lot of English football, but I don't know what you thought about that. Like, was it just a case to add something different, because he's a wee bit more aerial ability than that, maybe just to kind of add that into the team? I don't know. What do you think?
He's Wolves, isn't he? He's still with Wolves. So I think obviously since McCarthy went, new manager in, maybe doesn't fancy him. They're going through a lot of sort of heartache at the minute. Wolves, things aren't going well for them. So I don't know. He might have been all right. I don't know, Harper. Undecided.
I don't think he's any better than Stouchy, to be fair. And obviously Stouchy's been at Celtic for a couple of seasons, so he knows what's all about. Plus he only puts the ball on it, so I don't think he's any better than what we've got, to be fair.
I think to my point was, though, I think it was interesting. It was the kind of player he is, because I think he's more a sort of guy who you could fling a long ball.
Target man.
Target man, aye. Without being an out-and-out target man, he definitely has that sort of angle in his game.
I won't say he's that big.
I think that's what they were looking at, but obviously with the injury to Samaras, if that was going to potentially maybe keep him out, I don't know, it might just have been an option to sign him. But we're very top heavy in strikers, and as you say, Brendan, Stokes is, I think if MD deserves a chance, it's Stokes, because he's done well if he's got back in. And aye, I don't know what you think, Paul.
Well, actually, what beside his cousin was a barman in New York years ago, and this was when he was in Reading. And at that time, Man United seriously looked at him as a guy whose potential and that never quite came out, which was a quite disappointment, because I believe they were big Man United fans. And I think he probably has most of his money. I mean, when he was in a Premiership for Wales, he was really good. And he probably does need a change of club right now. And to be honest, I think he's steamroller the SDL because he's in his stature and that, you know.
Aye, no, as I say, I'm a bit undecided. I don't know. I quite like the look of Big Lassad. I don't know. And Miku, I thought was doing all right, but as I say, we've got Hooper. Right. Chris McIntyre's trying to call in. Chris, what I'm going to do is I'll decline it and I'll add you to the call, mate. Okay, if you're listening
Chris
in.
McIntyre's the guy for Football Aid.
Okay, right. Give us a wee set. I'll decline him, then I'll add him to the call. Right. So Chris McIntyre. Right. So carry on, guys. Blether away. Or don't. Is he Chris McIntyre? Is it MAC? Right. Oh damn, it's not coming up.
I see Roderick's scores tonight, anti from the 20s. Him and Stokes have started there tonight, but he's not been added to the European squad. Him or is it Gershon?
The two of them never made the squad. That's right.
What's your thoughts on Roderick? I mean, I've only seen the YouTube clips, etc., but you don't really believe what you see on there sometimes, do you?
Paul and the boys, Parrott and that had a good interview with the general manager of Central Coast Mariners, and they spoke about very highly, so I'm looking forward to seeing the boy. Like.
Yeah. Chris McIntyre, by the way, mate, I can't see your name on this this list. I'm trying to add
you have to have him accept him as a friend first, sort of thing.
All right. So mate,
not appear in your list.
Right. So add us as a friend, mate. I'll accept you, then I'll add you to the call if you're listening in. Cheers, mate. Okay.
I'll just send them another email here.
Okay. So what were you aye, so I listened to that, Paul, and you're beyond it. Did you listen to Brendan and the Homeboys Down Under?
I've not got it on my phone to listen to it on one of the downloads, but I've not around to listen to it yet.
Aye, the Sevco fan was pretty good, the guy you'd on. I don't know, what was his role, Paul? Was he an agent or was he part of that team that he played with?
He's part of it, he's part of it.
Aye, he was good.
I mean, it seems to be the logic is, was to be Australia's next best thing, and
yep.
It's highly sought after by a lot of clubs, and I think it's been a bit of a cool by Celtic to get him. And Celtic seemingly are looking at him being a first team player, within the next couple of weeks. So it's not something that it's not a project. It's not going to expect to be first team challenging almost immediately.
Yep. See another point as well. We're on the subject of Down Under. Pretty interesting. I had a wee conversation with somebody in a bit of the know today. And they were talking about our show a few weeks ago when we started talking about the maestro, Mr. Paul McStay, and they know the family quite well, and seemingly Paul McStay's oldest son is an absolute bumper, and he's got everything, and he's desperate to play for Celtic, and he's doing really well over in Australia, so you never know, there maybe could be another McStay in the horizon shortly.
Jason, can I just tell you that Chris says he had sent a request.
Right, have I accepted it?
No, well, you'll be on the left-hand side.
All right, got it there. There you go. Right.
We'll be able to
add to the group, right here.
Where's Jack going back to the controls, Jason?
Hey, Brendan, it's not as easy as it looks, mate. Right, that's me adding Chris to the call, right? Are you there, Chris?
Hi there, how you doing?
How you doing, mate? It's Jason here. Sorry about the carry on there. That's me added you and put you in. So you're the winner of Harper's. No. You're the guy from Football Aid, right? Okay. So Harper, you take over, mate.
Chris, good to speak to you, man.
Good, yeah. Nice to hear from you.
Happy days, man. Listen, I've got. It's good you're coming on the night, I suppose, because one of your colleagues, Connor, sent me an email today about the auction places that are going to be coming up for Celtic Park, and I'll actually be posting that on the Hell Media site tomorrow morning at 8:30. So anybody who's listening, tomorrow morning you'll see the links on Twitter and everything you can go on. But Chris, if you want to just come on and give everybody a bit of an idea of Football Aid, the kind of brief history and the plans for the auction and what people can expect and stuff like that, man.
Yeah, well, obviously, Football Aid hosts a lot of charity football matches across the whole country, kind of thing. And one of our biggest supporters must be Celtic, and they're one of our founding partners back since 2001. And I guess like over the years we've had so much support from the club and all the footballers. Like one of our vice patron of Football Aid is Danny McGreen. So he's always at all our games every year, and it's been so heavily supported. We've had Neil Lennon play, we've had Paul Lambert, John Kennedy, Tommy Burns, Bobby Fetta. I guess the name goes on and on and on with the amount of support that we've had, which is magnificent. And I guess for you guys that go out there and get the opportunity to live the dream and be a Celtic player for the day and grace the hallowed turf at Celtic Park is, I guess it's a once-in-a-lifestyle opportunity and stuff, and I guess it's such a magnificent thing that we can put on. But one thing that is meaningful is that even though you guys are going out there and living the dream, you're going to make so many dreams come true for so many other people across the country and in Glasgow and for whatever the Celtic charities and charitable trust wants to do with the money. So it's always fantastic. We are going into our bidding period now. Obviously it's kind of like an eBay auction, so the remaining positions still available, and you can put in your bid to come and play along at Celtic Park. So
Kirsten, just give us a wee sort of, I suppose, a rundown on what people can expect on the day. Say they want to bid for that place and they won the auction. What can they expect on the day?
Well, on the day, so what we normally do, we get the guys down like on a professional match day.
Had to cut Paul off there.
We get obviously taken into the hospitality suite. We give you a warm welcome. We tell you who the legends are and everything. We take you down to the changing rooms. You get a wee tour of the stadium, and you'll be presented with all your shirts hanging up like you would be on an official match day. And I guess that's you. You go away, you go and get yourself ready. You go out there, you get a good warm up. You come back in, and then we'll take you out the tunnel to the sound of the crowd, and you go and do the official lineups, handshakes, and that's your chance to go live the dream and be a Celtic player for the day for 90 minutes. Play alongside with some fantastic legends, and then after the match, we do a man of the match and a moment of the match presentation, which is done with all our legends as well.
I tell you what, man, I'm absolutely buzzing for it. I mean, I'm taking part in the game this year alongside our raffle winner Craig Owens. I'm actually in for the first half, centre half. So I've got a funny feeling myself and Craig might have to tag team a couple of times because he's done to play the second half. Maybe just have to go in 10 minute spells each.
10 minute spells, swap over.
that could work for us. Jason, guys, is there anything you want to ask Chris for as well?
So how many years have you been doing this for, Chris?
As in me personally, or Football Aid?
The Football Aid with Celtic, how many years has this been going for?
It's been going on since 2001 now.
Okay.
They were one of our original founding partner clubs. So we're going into obviously our 13th season, which is magnificent, and we just hope that hopefully the long-standing commitment just carries on, and we're able to offer this opportunity to you guys.
No, it's definitely excellent. You know, it's especially the way we done it as well. I don't know if you know how Harper done the auction. The auction, it was the raffle, and with loads of good prizes, and it was sold out in a couple of days, wasn't it, mate?
Magnificent.
It was something 40 hours, nearly enough. Like 80% of the tickets were gone. And it's probably something that I think other people could look at for doing those places, like, because it kind of gives maybe people who don't have the money, and especially this, like the way the current climate is out there, the minute financial climate. But for a tenner, you have a chance to an amazing prize like it. And plus, we gave everybody a wee prize anyway.
Sorry.
Lightsaber's going off again there.
I just.
We gave everybody a prize who entered anyway, which was worth more than a tenner. So no, it was definitely a good way of doing it, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, no, incredible. When we saw all, we thought it's fantastic, and obviously you guys and all the other unofficial websites that give us support it's what makes the difference with Football Aid. And with your guys' support and generating that interest, it helps generate more money for the charity as well. So obviously we're so thankful that we've got your support as well.
So how
can I ask you one more thing? See the spectator tickets, where can invite, I think it's up to 10 people. Do they get sort of access to the stadium for a tour or anything like that, or maybe chances to have their pictures taken in the dugouts or the tunnel or anything like that, or is it just in the stand and then they're limited to that? Or?
Yeah, so the spectators, the tour just goes out to the players itself, and the access to the pitch is just for the players on the day. It's meant to be their special day, and obviously the guests get to come along and try and experience that from the stand and cheer them on. So the spectators will still get full access to obviously the hospitality being out of the stadium, but we'll try and keep it the special occasion to all the guys that are going out there to live the dream.
That's fair enough, eh?
Or if you've got a brass neck, you could just brass it.
Well, there's that few, Jason.
Aye. So, Chris, how many places have you got left for the one that Harper's involved in, or is it sold out?
Well, we keep positions for bidding, especially hopefully to generate that little bit extra interest and extra money for the charity. So over the 2 games, we've probably still got 10 positions available.
Okay.
So there's still loads out there, and the positions close at different dates in the next coming month, depending on what position it is. The number 6, 7 and 8 positions, so starting midfield positions close next week. So I guess the people will have to be quick if they want to get in and get in the first half.
And if MDs want to contact you, what would be the best way of contacting yourself about a position?
Just to have a look on the Football Aid website. It's just footballaid.com, and then there's all the information that you'll need for the game. If you just go in to find your club, select Celtic, and then you'll find everything you need from there. If you do need to call us or email us, all the information is on the website.
And as I said, hailhailmedia.com tomorrow morning. I've got a blog up with the phone number, the email, the website links, all the details about the game. So it's all over there tomorrow morning, 8:30. And I'll put the links on Facebook, Twitter, and all the usual places. And if you're listening to this in the future on a podcast, if you know what I mean, guys, just go back to what day's tomorrow? Tuesday, 6th February, and you'll find all that information there.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. Absolutely fantastic.
Can I just ask you, and maybe being a wee bit cheeky here, have you got any can you give us any maybe sneak preview of who any of the legends will be, or you've not found out yet?
Well, we're still in discussions. Well, we've got obviously one of our board members is John Kennedy, so he's obviously heavily involved. So if he can make the date, obviously with Danny Green being our vice patron as well, he always wants to make the games as well. So these guys are massive supporters, so they obviously help secure our other legends. So we're still waiting to hear from them to hopefully get a couple of big names involved as well.
Because you're going to need somebody good playing it right back to carry me, like, you know what I mean?
I'm sure you'll be fine.
That's brilliant, Chris.
Okay, mate, so thanks very much for calling in.
Not a problem. Thanks very much for having me.
Okay, all the best, mate.
Cheers, Chris.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Cheers, man. Thanks. That was good.
Yep, so that's it. So are we going to get the winner to call in next week?
Craig, he's in a band, and he's away to band practice tonight, and he's desperate to actually
Flute band?
No.
Come on.
Because he's for Blanter, and they've got a wee festival thing coming up. It's an odd-cook competition and all sorts of different stuff. It's raising money for the Good Child Foundation because it's something. It's like a committee they have every year for Raymond Gormley.
Yeah.
Memorial,
Right.
Raymond was from
He's from Blantyre, that's right.
Craig's involved with that, and he's want to come on and tell everybody about that, or get some of the organisers to come on, because there's going to be a charity football match and everything, and there's a whole weekend stuff planned.
All right.
Craig's got to be coming on to talk about that anyway, so and he's absolutely buzzing for the game, as you can imagine.
Oh, definitely, what a prize.
Can
And
I just say as well, right, I know people are still waiting on the PDFs. I'm slowly but surely working my way through the list, but it's like 200 emails I've got to send them. So I think it's split over 2 emails that took the 3 books, so I will get to I'm doing it every day. It's a few a day, so you will get your PDFs in your email, don't worry about it.
Yep. And I'm still waiting on a big thank you for me giving up my 40 for the second or third place, you know. Not even not even a lick, never even a thanks or anything. No, Jason, cheers for that. I know.
You gave that up by accident. You didn't mean to give
I thought it was a PDF file. I was kidding. No, not at all. I wouldn't have done that. If I'd have won the first prize, I'd have took that, I can assure you. But no, anything else, it's better for the listeners to get it. So, this week we've got a Saturday early kick-off up in Inverness. What do we reckon? I'll go to Paul. What do you reckon the team Celtic will play it?
Aye, that's a good point.
Sorry, mate, I'm struggling to hear you here, Paul. No, what I'll do, I'll go to Steve and I'll cut you off, bring you back in, mate, right? Parrot, what do you reckon?
Well, for the first time I'd see it, obviously I thought about Celtic, I'd take my eye off the league and just keep the big players sort of safe for the Juventus game. I'd get young Dylan McGee playing if he was fit, etc. Tony Watt, but whatever, just get the squad out there. And I know it's disrespectful to the league or whatever, but it's premium that they get a result against Juventus on the Tuesday night. So I just got there and have a go. Obviously, they were knocked out the cup at the weekend and they may be dented a bit, but I just got there and get 4 in, I guess.
Yep. Brendan, over to you, mate. What do you think? What kind of team do you think will play on Saturday?
I think the last Hooper probably bring Stouts back in, give him some game time.
Yep.
Maybe drop a couple in the midfield, get a couple of young lads in. Like Mark Stevens says, I think don't want to disrespect the league, but at the same time, I think the Juventus game is the one that matters.
Yep. No, I totally agree.
We could always pull the league back if we drop a couple of points.
Well, we've already made the cushion, which we all expected anyway, so we're there. So, Paul, you better signal now, mate. Let me hear.
The manager obviously seemed to drop a couple of players, which is what we done the last time that was Canada game. And I think we could do the same again because obviously, as Brendan says, the Juventus game does have precedent. But I mean, we can go there and really finish the league. We can win them Saturday's 18 points and get our focus on the Juventus.
Aye, no, absolutely. So, Harper, what about yourself? What's your views on it, mate?
I would drop everybody.
Aye.
I would drop the entire. I wouldn't play anybody who's slotted in, who's critical of the game plan for Juventus. Honestly, I don't see any point in risking anybody for a big game like that. I would drop every single one of them.
Me personally, I would. Obviously, we're a bit worried about Big Fraser because he's not come back yet and he's vital. So if he was fit, I would maybe give him half an hour. And see if Samaras, if he's fit, I'd maybe give him half an hour. But that's a gamble. If they get crocked, maybe they better just not getting the half an hour at all. But definitely, our guys like Hooper, Wanyama, are guys that we need for the Juventus game. Aye, get them dropped.
And Jason, do you know what? You're going up to Inverness, right? Early kick off on a Saturday. It's going to be freezing cold up there, right? The ground's going to be brick hard. No, I wouldn't risk anybody in that game.
Aye, it's a fair point, because with a half-hour game against Inverness, are they really going to get a lot of match practice? You're probably right. Just get them tucked up, sort of simple training sessions, and get them ready because this is humongous next week. So let's talk about it. I can't wait. I'm absolutely buzzing for this. Buzzing. It's just. Are you still needing that? Is your uncle coming up, Parrot?
He's not buzzing. No, you're not buzzing as much as Paul Larkin.
I'm still waiting, Jason. As soon as I know one way or another, mate, I'll let you know.
Right, I've got it for you there anyway. Don't worry.
Cheers, pal.
That's it. But so while we're talking to you, Parrot, what do you reckon, mate? What's the drill for next Tuesday? What's your prediction?
Listen, there's various guys in the Juventus team. I think what we've got to do is we've got to be realistic that they're not the Juventus team. I mean, everything is on about them not playing in Italian football. They've won the European Cup twice, so have Nottingham Forest. They've got guys like Paul Pogba. They've got Pirlo, who's I think I'm more excited to see Pirlo live than I was Messi, to be honest. They've got some great players. We just go and have a go. For me now, it's just about enjoying it. It's been some journey. Beating Moscow and getting through to the last 16 has been more than I'd ever dreamed of this season. I'm just going to hopefully meet you in the afternoon, have a wee bit mellow birds, Mr. Higgins, and we can just sit and chill out, mate, and go and enjoy the game. Don't forget the wee man's beads, whatever you do, we're taking it to Wembley.
The beads are there, mate. They're in my bedpost now, mate. Don't worry about that. They've all be there. And no, Big Tommy's come over from New York as well. Yeah, the big man's coming over from he's coming over from Carney, so he's here for a week. So Ian, my mate for Liverpool, Scouser, the Lalas, they'll be up. But it's going to be. I've looked at a load of stats and stuff like that, and an interesting one I meant to mention earlier on. Did you know that's the first ever game televised live at Starks Park yesterday? They said that on the telly. I couldn't believe that. I think that's the first game. Is it the first ever game, or is it the first Scottish game? Or there
wasn't many games broadcast live, I suppose, when they were in the Premier League.
Aye, because they played Bayern Munich in Europe, but I don't think that was live. So I think that was the first ever game. But Paul's back on. Paul, do you know that was the first ever game broadcast live at Starks Park yesterday?
That's right, aye.
Is that true? Aye. Well, my ears weren't deceiving me. Aye. And another one that the Serie A opposition haven't beat Celtic since, what was it we were talking about it in the Keys the other night? Paul, was it since 1969 or whatever? AC Milan, was it?
The only Serie A opposition that's ever actually won a Serie A game.
Aye.
Which was a European Cup final in '69.
Aye, so I mean the stats are, obviously our record in Italy's brutal, but as we say, different animal with this team. I've got some. I know our Hail Media colleagues in the 90-minute Cynic, they wax lyrical about Juventus and tell us how amazing they were the team about Europe this last year, which I don't agree with whatsoever. But no, I mean that. I mean see Juventus, to be fair, they're one of the biggest teams ever in world football. They're phenomenal. Their worldwide support it's up there with the best. But I just don't reckon they're the team that they were years ago. I just think Italian football isn't what it was years ago, not at all. And I would argue against anybody that Italian football's nowhere near the players that are playing in Italy are no cutting the mustard compared to what there was 10, 15 years ago. No chance.
That's probably right, Jason, but it's sort of downcrowding here. They're a pretty good team.
No, I'm not. You're playing the last 16 of Champions League. You're not going to get a mug.
They're still top of Serie A. So I mean, they're a good team.
Did you see, to back you up, Jason, did you see the Canios interview the other day about Balotelli going to AC Milan?
No, didn't see it, mate.
Right, and there's Paolo, man, was at a brunch, they went, let's talk to us about Balotelli. He said, when I was at AC Milan, guys like Van Basten and whoever were brought into fanfare, he says, Balotelli's just a normal player. I mean, obviously all the money and the prestige in world football at the moment's in Spain, because that's where the best managers go. Out with the Spanish league, Germany's the only beacon, the Italian league to me. And listen, all the Italian teams are good, but everybody still remembers them when Channel 4 had Gaza and Lily and Turan running about out there. But there's been better teams than Juventus been at Celtic Park this year and we've beat them, so definitely lose if I go and pump them.
Aye, that's. I mean, at the end of the day, there's no way we'll take it lightly. They're a world superpower and we're just a wee team for Scotland. So that's a fact of the matter. But that Celtic Park crowd behind us, I believe in miracles. Where you from, you sexy thing? But no, I've just got. We're here for the ride and we're here to enjoy it. If it doesn't go our way, then fair enough. But no, I've got. What about yourself, Harper? What's your views next week, mate? What do you think?
It's just don't know, man. I've every confidence in this Celtic team to raise their game and be superhuman again. They seem to save their best performances. It's funny. It wasn't so long ago they were saying Celtic, Neil Lennon couldn't win big games and stuff like that. It seems these days we only play well in big games, if you know what I mean. We really seem to sort of the players grow in stature when they walk out with that big crowd, and I do believe the crowd and the atmosphere plays a big part in it, and they react to it, and the big game players become big game players on their nights, if you know what I mean.
Aye.
And I'm absolutely. I mean, I don't know. It's hard. Do you know what it is? I just didn't want. You keep talking the 90-minute Cynic guys, and I kind of agree with them when they says they've seen a lot of people just sort of dismissing Juventus, and there has been a lot of people dismissing.
Nah, there's no way we're doing that.
And I'm talking about fans, like, and that is silly. Like, do you know what I mean?
Nah.
It's going to be a very, very, very tough game, but it's doable. So I mean, it is definitely doable. It's no Bayern Munich, it's no Real Madrid, and even if it was them, I'd still say Celtic Park we can beat anybody. But we've got a chance. We've got a good chance, eh?
And that's it. I think we've got a chance, you know, and we're no saying we've got any more. You know, I would not be surprised if Juventus was to beat us 3-0. You know, I wouldn't be coming out that game down crying the team or anything. I'd see as long as they gave their all and we were beaten by a better team, you know. I thought we did a chance against Paris Saint-Germain and stuff like that when they came to Celtic Park, and they were one of the best teams I've ever seen at Celtic Park. They ran absolute riot. Borussia Dortmund teams have came there. You're like, how good were they? Dynamo Kiev. You know, we've seen some massive superpowers. No, the norm, obviously. Everybody knows about Barcelona and your AC Milans and stuff like that. But we've seen other teams that's came there that have been absolute top drawer. I thought Stuttgart against us were absolutely brilliant at Celtic Park in the Seville year. And God willing, they didn't get down to 10 men. I don't know if we'd have been at Seville that season, you know, because they went down to 10 men, then went 1-0 in front. I think we beat them 3-1. Petrov got a good one in the second half, but I thought they were a smashing side as well. But this Juventus team is beatable. We can beat them. I'm not saying we will beat them, but we can. And I just think the Celtic players need to believe it.
I think as well, something you've said before. And I know they all say, well, we'll give you respect, blah blah. They'll come to Celtic Park and they'll underestimate Celtic. I've no doubt about that.
Harper, nail on the head, and you better believe that they were absolutely delighted when they drew us. We were the easiest draw in the draw for them.
Yeah. And they'll come with that mentality.
Yep. Out of the 8 teams they could have drew, or I don't know if it was 8 teams, I don't know if there was an Italian team in our pot or what, or 7 teams, because obviously the one that came through the group with them. But out of the 7 teams that they could have drawn, we were the one they'd have been praying for. It make no bones about that. That's an absolute cast iron certainty. So we know what we're up against. We're the underdog in every game we play in the Champions League, apart from maybe one group game, or obviously the home and away 2 group games. But Scottish football is not rated by MD in Europe, and I mean, at the end of the day, you only earn your respect, and we've done nothing in Europe recently. Us and Sevco, or the old Rangers, 2's got to a UEFA final, but apart from that, in the Champions League we've not done much in note. You know, qualified out a couple of group stages and things like that, but this team's, and I just think you're right. See guys like Gary Hooper, guys like Victor Wanyama, guys like Fraser Foster, guys like Joe Ledley, guys like Samaras. I mean, he'd be the first name in the team sheet. These guys live for nights like this, you know, and Scott Brown, and I just think, let's do it.
The guy here on Twitter is actually tweeting the Lost Boys. He thinks he's listening to a different show, but Mr. Scotland says they topped the group, the Champions League, and they beat Shakhtar Donetsk away. And they're mugs.
Oh, who's saying they're mugs? You know, I'm just saying that they aren't the team that ruled Serie A and stuff like that in the 80s. There was no Frank Rijkaards and Marco van Bastens and guys like that going to play in Italy these days, you know. And I just think, I mean, end of the day, Italians, bloody hell, they're good. You know, they're one of the best football nations in the world, and their league's always been strong. I just don't think it's the strongest at the minute, but I don't know. I just feel that they're the stats are there. We've not been beating a competitive game since 1969 then against a Serie A team. So, and there's been quality AC Milan teams have came, you know, and Juventus themselves. And that's one thing that ranks with me. Everybody says that's the best game they were ever at when we beat them. We didn't qualify, so it was. I didn't rate the game at all. You know, I rate the game and how I'm feeling coming out and what we've achieved getting out, and we didn't really achieve that much that night.
I have to say it's one of my favourite games I was ever at. Like, and I know exactly what you mean, but when you look back on it and you see, I've got the DVDs there with all the goals and all that and the highlights, and when you look back on the football that was played, it was sublime, and the excitement at the time of the game, it was just one of the great nights at Celtic Park.
Aye, and the players that we had at our disposal then were absolutely brilliant. We'll probably never see, like, with monetary wise, guys like that playing with us again, but I just think this team at the minute's more of a team than that was. You know, I think we can change it up and we can defend and we can maybe what kind of result over you, Parrot, what kind of result will you be happy with against Juve at home?
To be honest, mate, as you say, I would never mean disrespectful to Juventus. They're technically an excellent team. I think we're really, if we want to go over there with aspiring to get through to the last 8, we're going to look for a 3-0, which will sound ridiculous with Buffon and goal, etc. But we're nothing to lose. Go out and have a go at them and see how we go on. You know, if we can't play defensive, because we'll get pumped over there. You know, and we've been. But as I've said before, for me, the pivotal results were the more scorers games that this year. We're not as bad this year away, so 2-0, 3-0, Jason will do. Even 1-0, as long as we get a win of some description, mate. If they don't score, it would be better, pal, you know.
Aye. What about yourself, Brendan? What kind of score are you looking for, mate?
I'll be happy with 0-0 at Celtic Park. I think this team can go away and nick it 1-0 over there.
Me too, mate. That's the score I'm looking for. I'll take that.
If we don't concede at Celtic Park, it's game on, isn't it? It's cup football. It's a one-off game over there, and Sam Ross has been on fire in Europe, and I fancy to make it 1-0 over there.
Yep, I agree with you, mate. I would be happy with 0-0. See, as long as we keep a clean sheet and we go over there.
Being scored at Celtic Park, I think James Forrest terrorised him. He's going to come in that game flying. He's got to come in that game flying, and that's like hot Juventus doing the wings, because I think they play quite a mad formation. What I heard with using three centre halves kind of, so I think James Forrest's going to get the room to play against them.
Yep.
More importantly, and he's going to be the key. I've always thought Samaras is the key man in these games. I think James Forrest coming back some massive for Celtic.
Yep. Paul, you're back with us, mate. Juventus, hopefully we can hear you. Can you hear us, mate? I can't hear you at all, mate. Sorry.
Sounds like he's got a Dalek over there.
I know. Sorry, mate, I'm going to have to cut you off. Aye, so it's Paul's Skype. I don't know what's happening.
Sounds as if his switch has been invaded by the Smash robots for the old advert there, buddy.
I've smashed cat mash.
So it's not just that as well. When he's on, it's like that. It starts affecting everybody else's.
Aye, he's dropped off there now. But Scott come online there. I don't know if he's going to. So Scott, if you're listening in, give us a wee call, mate. 'Cause we're going to wrap up about 9 o'clock-ish. But no, it's one of these games that it's especially like we're romping the league, let's face it, and it's one of these games that we've been sitting looking forward to, and sort of Lennon alluded to it yesterday. You know, since they get back for the Steaua Bucharest friendly over in Marbella, he has been thinking about this, and who wouldn't? It's only human. You know, this game is going to be absolutely massive, and Juventus, so they'll fill their away section. You know, they'll bring a massive support with other Italians that live in the UK as well. You know, and they have got a massive worldwide support, and it'll be an occasion to savour. Celtic Park will be absolutely rocking, and I wonder what the Green Brigade have got in store for us. There's Scott. So Scott, I'm going to hang up and I'll add you to the call, mate. I'm going to decline it. There's Scott, try it again. Give me a second. So I'll add Scott to the call. Right.
Who else is playing the same night as us?
I've not even looked, mate.
Because I was just wondering if the Celtic game will be on RT here. Because I prefer watching it on RT.
Aye. Are you there, Scott? Scott?
2 seconds, I'll turn that speaker thing off.
Alright, no worries, mate.
Right, how's it going, gents?
Not bad, mate. You okay?
I can't wait to hear about these budgie smugglers.
Smaller, not a sparrow,
So you've been choking for a blether, mate. He Skyped me he sent us a message on Twitter last night. When's the show?
Go and do it. I sat at my computer waiting for Marty to phone me back, but it turns out he was out trying to steal things.
I know. So we were just talking about the Juventus game next week, mate. We're all getting excited. So what do you think? What's your views and what kind of score would you be looking for at Celtic Park? So what are you looking forward to next week, and how do you rate Juventus? How do you think of our chances? Take it away, mate. The floor's yours.
Well, I just caught what each of you were saying there, and
you've got your two sides, haven't you? You've got your mad Celtic hat on that you think we should be going out there and rattle into anybody. Doesn't matter who it is. This going do the job. This is paradise. Let's get the stuff done. However, we look at what we've done this season, and you do get to the feeling, no, I'll take 0-0 the new. Play it cautious and 0-0, and then go and try and play what we've done away from him this year. But this year's been a kind of revelation for us. Take Benfica away. This year's been different. Nah, I mean, that Sparta game, fair dues, we gave 2 bad goals away, I thought, on the day, but the way we countered them, and the Hoopers goal was a perfect example. Then you look at Barcelona, how we contained them, and you think maybe your game is now set up to be that type of team. Whereas you've always, you guys, you know the script, he's been gone long enough. Our mantra is always, we'll fucking score more goals than you. And I think, I've said that before on the show, Lennon deserves a lot of credit for what he's learned. I help run Mams if I teams, and I always say, see, make mistakes is bad. No learning for doing mistakes is worse. And Lennon deserves a hell of a lot of credit for learning on the job. But be bloody tough, man. As you say, why would you know fancy Celtic kind of? You look at what we spend, look at everything about it. We'd be the easy draw, but as you hope that they come in with a wee bit of complacency, and Platini didn't help the fact of them coming out saying it's already done, did it?
This is it as well, and it's the thing for Celtic is we know what we're capable of doing, and we know we can be bad as well. You know, we lost to St Mirren at Hampden and stuff like that, and we're not under no illusions that if we've not got our big players in their game at the right time, the chances of us winning is probably pretty slim, because they're the kind of team that can take you to the cleaners. You know, if they're on they've got some top quality forwards, they've got top quality Pirlo and guys like that at the midfield. You don't get much better than that. But with the components at Celtic Park that we've got in our favour, and we use them well, you know, and B. James Forrest, he's back fit again, and I know Neil Lennon thinks the boy is top drawer, and you see sometimes when he runs at defenders, they're all over the place because they're not used to playing against wee guys like him. He takes you back to the jinky days, and fair play to Lennon, he mentioned Davy Provan yesterday, obviously one of his adversaries with the media, but we've always had your tricky players and your guys that love to entertain the fans and things like that, and just I think it's set up for guys like that, and anything's possible with Celtic, but you're right, we are different. You know, we can soak up pressure now, and we've got a big man between the sticks there that I don't think I've seen any better than that at Celtic Park in my lifetime. And when Big Foster's in his game, you know, he can pull us out a few holes as well. So,
do you know, Jason, sorry to interrupt, when you look at the year, for me, the year the last underdog won it, you look at the season, Porto won it, and the previous season they'd won the UEFA Cup, and everybody against us, obviously, and everybody had been a bit blasé. It wasn't until they put Man United out that the rest of Europe went, well, who's this?
Aye.
You know, so will this be the time, and although everybody sort of scoffs at Russian football when they put Moscow out, alright, we beat Barcelona and everybody went, oh, this is a great gimmicky result in Europe. To England, except for their snobs, well, it takes us to put Juventus out before European teams start really doing the homework on us, because if you say they're not really bothered with us, we're just like a Glasgow district of Love, don't we?
I still even think if we put Juventus out, they'll still be dying to get us in the next round. When they just look on paper at how much our players are worth, where they've came from and stuff like that, and they don't rate our league, and they're entitled to their opinion, but I think that can work in our favour. You know, Neil Lennon's got to get it into them, but we have got guys that get higher aspirations than Scottish football, and fair play to them. Guys like Wanyama, he knows he can play at the top. Gary Hooper, Fraser Foster, you know, we've got guys there that this is their stage, and Big Samaras, you know, he's turned me around a bit. You know, I didn't rate the guy. I was a big critic. Not at the games and that, but talking crap like this, you know, I'd have been a critic of Samaras, but he'd been my first name in the team sheet. I don't know about yourself, Scott. What do you think?
I'd agree with you there, Jason. What Celtic have got is they've got different levels of players, right? And I'll come to Samaras in a minute. As you say, you've got young guys there, and they're out to make a name for themselves. And what better than making names for themselves than in the Champions League? and that includes guys like Hooper, guys Hooper and Wanyama, even Azagueri, maybe Kayak to a lesser extent, and then in Big Forster as well. Then you've got your kind of middle guys who, like Samaras is a nightmare. I agree with you, I was never a Samaras fan. I wasn't a critic, but I wasn't a great fan. Within my own company I would go, the big boy, he's had his chance and stuff, but he's certainly grown up as a player, and I think he appreciates the situation he's in. I know for a fact that he knocked back 3 transfers 2 seasons ago.
Right.
I know for a fact he was, I think Palermo had offered $2.5 million and some other team for Spain, and he said no, he didn't want to go. And I think Lennon was done with him as well, but the big man dug in. He obviously went to Ibrox, scored 2 goals and became a different player. But what we've got with Samaras, this no kid ourselves, Samaras is not a world superstar, because if the big boy was his best performances, if he was starting every week, he wouldn't be playing with us.
Aye, no, agree.
The big boy sell it because he's inconsistent, but on his day he's absolutely smashing. That's how his first pick with Greece. I mean, people can slag Greece all they want, but fucking Greece better than Scotland and Ireland.
See, Lennon I think Lennon's got to take all the credit here for me. Maybe it wasn't Lennon, but at the end of the day, see turning him into a left winger rather than a centre. You know, because as soon as you see his name playing up front with us, man, the fight just goes out of me, because he isn't a centre forward, you know. But if you give him the free role and you play him out in that left, I think you mentioned it in one of your podcasts I was listening to, and it was like, he's got the ball and the next minute you're 50 yards up the park and he doesn't look as if he's done anything. But
broke a sweat.
Aye.
Touching on what you just said there, I think it's himself deserves credit. The thing I used to say about Samaras, when you'd be talking about him, I said, we've got a centre forward there who's no scoring goals, he's no supplying goals, because that was a fact. For all the people who liked him, that was a fact. He wasn't scoring goals and he wasn't he was consistently getting the ball and losing it in very good positions. Admittedly, he got himself into these positions. I mean, it wasn't a case if somebody passing the ball and he lost it. He was getting himself in and he was making bad decisions. However, as you said, he was put in that position, he was put out left mid, and he started to create, and that made him important. But once he started creating, once he became a benefit of the team, then everybody appreciated. So I don't criticise you. I mean, it's not a case of you were wrong or I were wrong. I think Samaras has stepped up. So it's credit to Samaras. I don't think we should ever kind of feel, we don't know nothing, because see, to be bloody honest, he was terrible.
See, the thing is though, it seemed obvious as well, because when you think of Samaras' best goals, his debut goal when he came off the bench, it was at Rugby Park, was it? And running through right and coming in.
It was brilliant.
The strike. His best plays are always running for the deep at players. Once he gets that momentum up, he's unplayable at times. So when he was playing centre for it, he never had anybody to run into. I mean, he never had the space that he needs to play. And what I mean that he can be tight back, doesn't mean he needs space. But I mean, he needs places to run to. He needs to gather momentum and go with the ball. Like, and playing left wing, he's on that. Like, do you know what I mean? But when he was playing up top, he had nowhere to go. And he was never a partner either, because he was always drifting. He was like, I used to always say this, he was like a crisp packet going about the park, like, do you know what I mean? Because he'd be all over the place. But now he's got that sort of set role that he can drift, and it's an intentional drift, if you know what I mean. But he definitely needs to have space round about him to play into, like.
Well, that's true what you're saying. But he's playing for Celtic, and every defence is sitting in their own box, and you've got a midfield who are sitting about 15 yards away from him. Do you know what I mean? Sitting there, everybody's sitting there all compact. And as you said, when he's up front, he's a different player when you're playing against a team who's pushing you and attacking you. So hence why going to Ibrox, it was always a benefit, sticking him up there, letting him hold the ball up, letting him take the ball for a run. And that's, again, come back to Greece, that's how he looks so good for Greece, because generally Greece are always sitting in, allowing attacks to come on him. He's the outball. He's a different player, and he deserves credit as much as Lennon, I think.
Aye, and it's, do you know as well, see how he's played with Man City. So he's played in the Premier League. He's played where the big money is. He must have took a pay cut to come to Celtic. We're not paying him the same wages he was getting in Man City. But do you know, I think he's the kind of guy, he's found a bit of sort of inner peace, and he's found his niche, and he's happy here.
100%.
Aye, and I think see guys like say Wanyama, for instance. I think Wanyama's top drawer, so he's probably the wrong example. Say Effie Ambrose, right? So Effie Ambrose has a great season with us, and he's just wanting to get to the English Premiership because he's Nigerian, he's got no ties in Scotland, and good luck to him, right? So he gets a move down to the English Premiership. 1 or 2 years down the line, and this is quite indicative of most people that leave Celtic, is very few players leave us and go into better things. You know, see if they look back maybe 3-4 years after they left us. And I always look at the example with Larsson, that he stayed with us for so long. I reckon, being Scandinavian, I had this mad thought process that he maybe looked at Brian Laudrup, and once Brian Laudrup left the Rotten Mob, his career took a nosedive. He had more money with Chelsea, but he wasn't happy, and he was winning loads of trophies with the Rotten Mob and stuff like that. He was idolised, he was doing great. And I just think, if you're getting paid good money and you're enjoying yourself and your family's settled and stuff like that, then why should you need to move? And I get it when young players, they want to prove themselves against the best, but somebody like Samaras, he's already went there, he's seen the other side of the coin, and he's no got that sort of drive to take him there again. And I think that we're getting the benefit of that, because we've got somebody that's settled, and now, you're right, Scott, with a lot of hard work and a lot of hard graft and maybe a bit of intervention for Lennon and John Park and whatever, he sort of reinvented himself, and he's like our talisman, for want of a better word. When we're playing in Europe, he's the guy that's sort of dragging us there, and at the end of the game he could have scored like 5 goals against Barcelona and they'd be like to him, so do you think you played a part? He's like, oh, it's just the team, as long as the team wins. Yeah. And he doesn't smile.
I was going to touch on that exact same point, Jason. See, against at the end of Barcelona, he was straight faced. All the rest of the team were all tapping the ball, same as us. They were all bouncing about the shot, and the big man going, "Job's no done."
Aye.
And that said a lot to me about him. And I was going, well, he lives. And I tell you who else I would put into that same equation: Scott Brown.
Aye.
I think Scott Brown had a degree of, I'll come in here, I'll earn good dough, and I'll head down the road, and I'll make myself proper money. And I think he's kind of clocked on. And obviously, whatever that debilitating illness thing he's got, I think that's maybe kind of wise. And he's looking about going, I can make myself a hero here. And he's another guy who has turned around his Celtic career for me, because I was never a Scott Brown fan. But I think he's improved as a player because he's more focused.
Aye, no, I would agree. And it's like, you got to say to yourself, what is it you want out of life? And like, a lot of these players, like, I mean, see, if you look at the history of Celtic, see people that's left us. Alright, Kenny Dalglish, he went on to better things. Larsson had his best years with us, so Larsson went on to win European Cup and stuff like that, so he went on to better things. And you start saying to yourself, who else left us and went on to better things? There isn't many of them. Maybe Gary Caldwell, would you say, doing well with, you know?
Brian McClare at Man United, probably.
Yeah, Brian McClare, yep, absolutely. He was.
Listen, the thing is, though, you hit the nail on the head, right? It's an age thing, right? These guys, I think they've got the whole world in front of them, and maybe they have, but it's very difficult for us to expect a 21-year-old or 22-year-old to knock back 40 grand a week, say, if he's getting 20 grand a week at Celtic.
Oh no, absolutely.
That's just the way it is.
Yep.
I mean, and they maybe will go away, and they maybe will regret missing the big nights, and they'll see us on television playing in the Champions League and stuff like that, and they'll maybe be sitting there going, I could still be there involved in that, and they'll tell the stories when they played for Celtic in the Champions League for the rest of their life, but at the same time they'll look at their bank accounts. Well, and that's just the way it goes.
Like. But that's exactly, yeah, I agree with that. You Liam Miller to this day, right? Well,
that was what we're going to bring that up, Scott, exactly.
He possibly is sitting there lying through his teeth, but every time he's asked, do you regret leaving Celtic? He says, no, because I went here and you just know he's sitting there going, because I'm loaded.
Aye.
And Mark Viduka went away and had a great time at Leeds. And then went down to Middlesbrough and went to Newcastle. He won Jack Hee-Haw at any of them. But you can say he's sitting there with a wad of dough. I mean, I think Big Vega was the standout that comes out and says, right, I made an arse of this, know what I mean?
Aye.
I left for a 2-year contract and I was offered one. Brotto was
That's exactly Javier Sanchez Brotto. Mind he went back and he says, oh, I didn't really say that, can you bring me back? I know. Aye. But it's...
I think there's a lot of responsibility on the player's agent, so you probably get the nicest guy in European football coming to Celtic Park in Nicholas Anelka, and he's a very settled, grounded guy, but his two brothers are after blockers. And they would tell him, time you were moving on, and he'd be like, I like you, and they went, oh no, time we moved on and tried something fresh, because they'd spent their money they'd made it on.
Stephen, the one you were talking about was Del Piero, and remember Celtic went for Del Piero, and it was myself and Marty were talking about it, and I'd like Neil Lennon just to get a chance to sit down and sell Celtic to him, because I bet you would come in a second. And Marty's like, but this is why these guys get agents, so they don't have to make choices for the heart. You know what I mean? These guys are there to take all that away from them. These guys are there to make it so a bit cold hard cash, you know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, look at QPR, they've signed that Luke Bremney, who spunked off Newcastle. That's him out now probably for the rest of the season. He's out for at least 2 months, 3 months, you know. I mean, we're talking about the whole English football, as the lad said earlier in the show. If they didn't have Harry Redknapp in employment, they might as well have just had Jim White doing a strip show for 12 hours, because there was nothing else happening apart from a English has-been signing for a French tribute act, do you know what I mean?
See, like, I want to go round the table here and see what you think. This is maybe I'm just totally gullible and whatever, but I reckon Gary Hooper's absolutely delighted he didn't sign for Norwich City. I just think, see when that transfer window was in its final day, I just think he would have been like, please don't let me sign for them, because I've got this Juventus game coming up. I've got no doubt he'll probably go in the summer, and Celtic will want to sell him. If he doesn't sign I'd love him to sign a new deal, give another year with and whatever. And when he probably looks back in his career, he maybe should do something like that, but whether he will or not, I don't know. But I think, yep.
Jason, if I can come in on that then, I kind of think the opposite. I think Norwich would have had to have been encouraged to keep coming back with their bids. Because we all know what goes on, do you know what I mean? And Norwich must have been told that, look, he'll sign for you if he's come up. There's no way they're going to go in with 4 bids if they thought they had no chance of getting him.
Do you?
I honestly believe that his agent or however they do it through third parties, they've been given encouragement to keep coming back. Right. Or Gary Hooper would have come out and says, look, just tell them they're a waste of time.
No, and Gary Hooper played it the right way, just say nothing.
No, say nothing. But I do definitely believe that they would have the encouragement that to keep coming back like that they could get him if they agreed to feel it.
Okay. What about you, Brendan? What do you think yourself, mate? Brendan, you there?
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, me personally, I think Gary Hooper would have been delighted the deal to Norwich fell through. Harper disagrees. He reckons he would have went to Norwich. What about yourself? What do you think?
I agree with Harper. I think if they put the right money on the table and doubled Hooper's money to go, I thought he would have gone anyway. I'm surprised he still got him for the events again.
But what I'm saying is, do you not think that he's sitting there delighted now that he didn't go to Norwich, or do you think he's sort of thinking what could have been?
Wait a minute, can I change my answer then? Are you saying with hindsight, he's sitting the night going, actually I'm glad that never happened?
Yeah.
I'm talking about at the time. I think he'd let it be known through however they do it, through channels.
No, well at the time or just now, I'm just maybe totally gullible, but I think
he'd have signed at the time, but I think maybe he could be sitting now going, actually, maybe I just maybe it all worked out perfect for me.
Right, okay.
I think he would have signed.
Okay. What about yourself, Stephen? What do you think?
Oh, well, if I heard he was off, mate, I was going to get a couple of boys for the Gallagher doing in like Stars doing so he couldn't do what that scamp at West Brom did and make a run for London, you know. I think depending on the model, obviously these guys are like racehorses now. They're an industry. Every player's basically they've got their own trademark, book deals, etc. There must be a long-term deal with Gary Hooper in the sense where I think I said it in one of the shows last week. his agents would have maybe said to Norwich, yeah, we're willing to come down, but listen, because Norwich couldn't, the money Gary Hooper would have been on down there, they wouldn't have been able to sustain in the Championship unless they reckon they were going to yo-yo back up. So, or unless maybe Hooper thought he could have got down to Norwich, if he played well, he'd have got a move if they'd have stayed up. If he hadn't played so well and they get relegated, he'd have got a reduced fee movement. So I think everybody's won. As you say, the best thing is the player never said anything about it. He never tweeted anything, and it's nice for Celtic to conduct their business. I'm sure there was a magic figure, obviously, maybe said by Peter Lawwell, this is what I'm wanting. If you can get that, it can go, and it was all in agreement.
All right. Maybe you, Scott.
Well, I think right in the middle of what you two are saying. How's that? See, if and I've heard the Gary Hooper, he doesn't come across as the right cleverest guy. I think again he just lets his easy go with it, and if he went, and if he didn't. And I don't think he's put any particular thought to it. I mean, as you said, he didn't come out with any comments to build it up or break it down. I mean, you're sitting in there. I mean, when you ever even come out with a comment going, I'm going nowhere, this is me, do you know what I mean? We'll maybe look again in the summer. Hooper said nothing, and I think Hooper, if somebody said to him, Gary, go down the road and speak to that guy, he'd have been down the road, or if you get to train tonight, he'd have went training. I just don't think he's... I don't think he's sitting here the new going, oh, happy days, can't wait to Venice.
Aye, I know what you mean,
Jason,
aye.
Cast the fly.
Can I say one other thing as well?
Yep.
You know, I think, on with what we were discussing briefly before we came on air, that Celtic probably had somebody lined up to take his place.
Aye.
It was an indication that Neil Lennon knew he would sign as well if the asking fee was met.
Yep, we had a wee wire, Scott, on transfer day. A good pal of mine was talking to a certain player's brother-in-law, and he reckoned he was potentially signing with us that night. So whether Celtic had, a few irons in the fire in case Hooper accepted, or in case the right money come in or whatever, because I've got no doubt that if Celtic had lost Hooper that night, they must have had some contingency plan sitting there waiting. Sorry?
Doyle already says that Celtic were after him.
Who was that? Doyle. Aye. Well, we get knocked back. We tried for a loan deal there, but the one I heard was Johnny Russell. I reckon there was sort of moves afoot behind the scenes. I don't know, but my mate does. yeah, dick. Oh man, I walked into that.
I'm happy John Russell's from United. He got to on Saturday and Sunday, so that was last weekend.
Aye, so it's I'm trying to add Paul again here. He's restarted his Skype, but it's just ringing out. It's like saying he's busy. But
to be honest, I hate
aye, I'll need Linda's. She's moving back down the stairs now, so there'll be obviously background noises here shortly with the TV going on. I'll need to start wrapping up shortly. But are we going to have a show next week? Aye, and we're maybe going to have a wee HomeBhoys extra. We've thought a wee special leading up to the Juventus game. So watch this space. Maybe give a wee shot, Scott, and you can give us a wee call in. So predictions for next week. What's your prediction, Scott? Forget the Inverness game. We're not going there. Juventus next week. What's your prediction, mate?
God, you flung that one at me. I'm not even thought. I think the old two tactics will win 1-0. There you go.
I'll take that, Brendan. Your prediction, mate?
0-0.
0-0. The parrot, let me hear it.
Yeah, but you know what I say every week that never happens, so although he's in foreign shows, I can't see his name, so it's going to be a 3-0 to Celtic for what happened. I'm going to break my duck and put a wee bit in this season.
Oh my God, I'd bite the hand off you for that. Harper?
I'm going to go one each.
One each?
I'm going to go one each.
I'm going to go 1-0. I'm going to go with Scott 1-0. I would love us to keep a clean sheet. If we get a goal, it's a bonus. I would gladly take 0-0 over there, because I just think we could maybe do something. So unfortunately we can't get Paul at the end of the show because we want to give him a wee bit of time. He's got another Bampop book launch. It's the 6th of April. Unfortunately I can't make it because I'm going to the Kano Foundation. I've got the play at Celtic Park that night. I'm no a Billy, he's a Tim, so I'm going along to that. If it's finished early enough, I'll pop over to the CSA. But Paul's got his Bampop book launch with his new book, and he's got the great Quadrophenians on. So any that haven't seen them, I would totally urge you to get along and watch them. They're absolutely brilliant.
I had a time to stand for an interview with Burnley after Quadrophenians.
Have you done an interview with them, mate?
That was ages ago.
So I listened to that. Aye, that was excellent. Two of them were on their feet. They're from your neck of the woods, aren't they?
Aye. Purmy still drinks the Brazen and stuff.
Aye. Because Brummy boy Liam, my mate Liam, he lives in Rutherglen as well. It's running about your neck of the woods, but I think he knows one of them. But they were up the Cross Keys and Wish a couple of weeks ago. They're brilliant. I've seen them a few times before, but they're really good. But so that's it's them again. Else to add, guys, before we go.
See, just talking about interviews, I was listening to if you're inclined to this kind of music and politics and that kind of thing, Gary Ogg has a Facebook page, and I was listening. He done an interview on Spreaker with I don't know some Glasgow aspiring student journalist, and he done an interview 40 minutes long, talking about his music and how he got into his music and his politics. And so it's a really good listen. It's really interesting. It's on his Facebook page. It's on Spreaker, but I can't remember what it was called or anything. But if you go to his Facebook page, just look for Gary Ogg. And I don't think it's like one you have to be a friend. It's just like you can just join it. It's like a fans page. So Gary Ogg, and it's a good listen.
Okay.
I've got one thing, Jason, but I'll wait till everybody's finished, mate. It's not really important.
No, listen, just come on, you're always putting yourself down, parrot. You've got
No, it's just obviously the fantastic news at Leicester University found the remains of Richard III. The day it's been confirmed, I'm just waiting for them to send up a response team to do the car park outside Ibrox to see if they can get title deeds.
Aye, good stuff. But in this show we don't like to talk about them, but I know the airwaves are blue with certain rumours and stuff like that, but let the Rangers lovers carry on with that stuff. I'm not really interested, to be honest with you. What's going to happen is going to happen. Any ad, Brendan?
No, that's me. I'm off. Do that, boys. All the best.
All the best, mate. And Scott, finally, Scott, will be your cell mate in to go.
No, nothing at all, mate. Thanks for having us on. Really appreciate it.
No, a pleasure, mate. A pleasure. And as I say, once we're getting the wee HomeBhoys extra for the European trip, wouldn't mind you giving us a wee call in, mate, because you've obviously given some good stories yourself.
Perfect, mate. Perfect.
Okay.
Might get back in the Bravy for it. There you go.
That's it, mate. All right. Well, I'm going to gaff it for next Tuesday's Pancake Tuesday, isn't it? It's Ash Wednesday, the day after the Juve game, isn't it? Aye, so I'm going to gaff a drink for Lent. Spoke about it with the good lady. I got a special dispensation for Paddy's Day, but that'll be my only day back on the drink. I'm committed to doing it. I'm going to go to Mass every morning in St Aloysius.
And once you put your Venice suit, what would that do?
Well, I'll go to Mass on Wednesday night. So once I get my ashes, that's when Lent starts,
When I worked in the pub in Tullochutty, then I was working one day and it was the start of Lent, and the boy comes in and says, "I'll pint of Guinness." I says, "Liam, when did you start drinking Guinness?" I'm off lager for Lent. And he's deadly serious.
Right, guys, we need to wrap this up. All the best, and we'll play out with the great Quadrophenians. So hail Aberdeen, speak to you shortly.
Hey, listen, man, I'm not letting us lie about the budget smugglers like I'm wanting.
I sort of papered there that one. We can take that up with HomeBhoys extra. Scott, get your lines ready. Right. See you later. Right, hail, bye.
Cheers.
see the boys become champions. Oh, 67, and the heat of Lisbon, the first game in the thousands, to see the boys become champions. See the boys become champions. Attack! Old science face happen, and the heat of Lisbon, the first game in the thousands, to see the boys become champions. Science face happen, and the heat of Lisbon, the first game in the thousands, to see the boys become champions. Oh, science face happen, and the heat of Lisbon, the first game in the thousands, to see the boys become champions. Cheers. Cheers.